Alright, welcome back to the channel. It is 1:30 in the morning. It turned into a long night. We got some stuff that had to be done. But I kind of want to talk about this whole Russia-Ukraine situation. And in case if you are unaware as to what's going on, for some reason, it's plastered all over the news. But in case you don't know, Russia has done a full-fledged invasion of Ukraine, and it's a mess. Put it that way. I kind of want to give my opinions on it because I have so many mixed feelings about this. The more I read into it, the more videos I see coming out of Ukraine and, the press conferences between the UN and Biden and everybody else. Like, I have so many different mixed opinions on what should be done, what we should do, and just all this stuff. So, first of all, I want to mention this whole sanction thing. Me personally, I don't see sanctions working. If you're going to invade a country and start a war, you don't wake up one day being like, hey, I'm going to go invade this country. It takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a lot of resources to prepare to invade a country. Now, I'm pretty sure Russia is smart enough to be like, hey, we're gonna invade this country. We need to make sure that we have supplies, we have resources, money, equipment, technology, everything, stocked up, ready to go. That way, we can focus on doing this invasion and focus on keeping the country running. Me personally, I feel Russia could have easily have done that. If I'm wrong, so be it. I'll admit it. But to sit here and think that putting all these sanctions and restrictions on Russia is going to work, I don't see it. I don't see it going that way. I really don't. And, I could be wrong. I could be completely, totally wrong. By next week, these sanctions could, kick in and Russia could just completely shut down. And they'll withdraw and, go on from there. But I don't see that being the case. I strongly believe that Russia has taken the time to make sure that they are equipped and prepared to handle a situation like this. Just my opinion. Could be wrong, could be right. Who knows? But I personally feel that we are going about this the wrong way. Do I believe that we need boots on the ground in Ukraine, in between the U.S., all the other UN, all the other countries out there? Do I believe that we need to send boots in to help push back the Russian aggression? Yes. I firmly believe that boots on the ground is going to be the only way to end this right now. Sanctions, restricting their money, I don't think it's I don't think it's an effective way to end this conflict. Now, with that being said, do I want to see American lives, American soldiers, American troops lose their lives? Do I want to see Americans dead, American military dead by the thousands, whatever? No, I don't. I do not want to see Americans losing their lives. And if we put boots on the ground, that's what's going to happen. A lot of people are going to lose their lives. A lot of people are going to die. And that stands a very good chance of turning this into something even worse. I mean, it could be it could be something as simple as, okay, we are deploying 30,000 troops, whatever, and it could shut down. Like, we could shut Russia down and get this situation under control. Or it could lead into something even worse. It's so hard to sit there and pinpoint and, figure out as to what the end results are going to be, no matter what situation. The sanctions, boots on the ground, ignore it. It's so hard to figure out as to what's going to happen next. And that's where I find myself having so many different thoughts and opinions, and they're conflicting each other, is, seeing these videos coming out of the Ukraine. I feel terrible for these people. I feel sad that they are going through this, that, fathers are having to leave their family to go defend their country, which it's great to see that. It shows a lot, but it's something that shouldn't have to be done. And seeing, all the other countries around Ukraine, their only initial reaction is to do sanctions. And I have seen little bits and pieces of, I think it was Germany was sending arms over into Ukraine to help supply the militias over there, which is great, which is good. A little bit of help counts for something. But at the same time, if this escalates any more than it already is, you're gonna run out of bodies to utilize those arms that are being sent to them. You're gonna run out. So arms are great and everything, but you need bodies. You need bodies to operate those weapons, those firearms. And it's so hard to sit here and, like, I can't sit here and justify sending over thousands of troops to that could potentially lead into the start of World War III. But I can't sit here and just, watch as this country gets destroyed. It gets invaded, gets attacked. Because, just hypothetical situation, hypothetical scenario. What if Russia manages to completely take over Ukraine? What then? What happens next? What happens after the Ukraine falls? If it falls, this is a hypothetical situation. What happens then? Does Russia just go back to their, daily lives and live happily ever after? Or does Russia continue to push into different territories, or push into invading another country, or whatever? What happens after this? The loss of American lives, the loss of British lives, the loss of any lives, it's terrible. It shouldn't happen. But unfortunately, that's war. I mean, war was never meant to be nice. War wasn't meant to be pretty. And it's just so hard to sit here on the sideline, physically not being able to do anything, and just try to sit here and be like, what could actually be done that would actually be beneficial? And for all I know, these sanctions could shut Russia down. I really personally don't know. I mean, I'm sure the future is going to show as to exactly what's going to happen. It's just right now at this very point, it's so hard to pinpoint what's going to happen, how this is going to play out, what's going to be the end results, who's going to win, who's going to come out on top, all this stuff. But I can say that even if the U.S. doesn't get involved, which it's a possibility that we will not get involved, we will still feel the effects of the Ukraine situation. And I'm going to go into a video. I'm going to go into detail on my why I say that in a later video, one that's not going on at 1:40 in the morning. But right now, on American soil, I am a firm believer that this is a perfect opportunity to make sure that your gear's ready to go, to make sure that your food preps are ready to go. Because this whole situation could go so many different ways. Invasions, nuclear bombs, whatever. This whole situation could go so many different ways. But I think it's safe to say that, making sure that your bug out location, that your homestead, that your gear and equipment, your food supply, your backup food supply, all this stuff, your group, your mag, your community, all this stuff is ready to go. And if you're not somebody who has taken the time to prepare, who has learned their lesson from COVID and not having the adequate supplies to function without an income, without, whatever, get supplies. Get supplies. Food, water, medicine, a firearm, something. Get it in your house. Start stocking up now. There's so many things going on in this world right now that if it's not pushing you to start prepping, to start storing up food, then you're not paying attention. But that's kind of my little rant for today, tonight, whatever you want to call it. Leave thoughts and opinions down below. I would love to hear it. What you think would be a better solution for the Russia-Ukraine situation. Would love to hear it. But other than that, I'm going to quit talking.